Hey there, Joy of the World family and friends. This is Joy. Glad to have you here. You can see I'm in a different setup and a different environment. I am out of state getting some vision and some brain therapy, and it has been fun trying to figure out a setup in order to get these reads out to y'all. But it's always a pleasure, and it's such an honor to be able to share in this energy. It also helps my life as well, because that is the thing about community, is together we all move forward. So we're going to take a dip dive and see what we can find out about today. We're going to tune into the rune cards here. Let's see what we got coming in. What have we got? Oh, okay. So that's pretty easy. We have the self. Let's take a peek. Sorry, let's learn to be left-handed, Joy. Here we go. The self. Bridging the gap. I hear about it. Receptive, integrity, abide, stillness, willing, presence, mirror, and balance. So finding the balance and receptivity. Some of you, what I'm hearing specifically is you've been giver such a long time that for you the gift of giving has been your receptivity. It has been your personal blessing, and you see yourself as fruitful as such. And yes, although that is true, life is saying, hey, let me tap you on the shoulder a little bit. I want to step in and show you what it's like to really be receptive, to be open, and let the flow return to you as well. Because as we can see, we're crossing borders, we're crossing boundaries here. But in doing such, it is like a cross brace. It's very strengthening. It provides the stability needed in order to be a foundation and a structure of support for greater weight. Not, we can call it greater burdens, they're saying, but they're like, wash away the stigma of that word. So we're going to look into the Mystic Oracle here. See what we've got, letting us know about this fantastic foundation that we're stepping into. This ability to receive and to be open to the fullness of love of others, which I hear it kind of tingling along the lines, strumming the strings of trust. 30, the white rose of hope. Try and be lefty here, y'all. The white rose of hope. You see that right over your heart is drawing your heart forward into these new seeds of trust. I see new dreams coming about, and okay, so this is really tapping into a Lilith energy. As far as I knew last I checked, Lilith is still in Aries along with Chiron and Mars, and allowing the hope against hope to continue to be pervasive and to move you forward, even though there's a lot of scare tactic, a lot of the dust at the mind being stirred up about old days, old ways, patterns repeating when they're going, that's not it. That's just that cloud of dust of the unconscious kind of burping and clearing itself a little bit here. So we're going to take a credit card on this one. Tell us a little bit more about that cloud of dust and about Lilith. Coming, okay. I see a few here. A couple. Oh, I love it. Time is up. Kisses. It's like kiss those old days goodbye, but it's also like ringing in the new year, new you. And for a lot of people, around August, September is a new fiscal year. It's when they step into the changing of the calendar, and certain cultures also as well. That's when the time of harvest is coming. So that would be a great new year. It's when you ring in the abundance of what all you've worked for. Okay, that's making the bones in my nose hum. So that is definitely it. You have held on to this, and now it's time to relinquish it. And that could seem scary because it's like you're giving up your hope. But they're saying, no, that's the last giving. Give into that hope and be ready to receive. Be ready to receive the kisses, the abundance, this new life that you've worked for. And open your arms, open yourself to it, to receive it coming into your heart. This beauty is blocking your heart, as strange as that is. It has been there for the appropriate amount of time in order to, well, if you've seen the Never-Ending Story, remember at the end there's that one tiny grain of sand. It is that last hope. It is that piece of self that has been retained through all the trials, through the fullness of the nothing. And that's the time, this is the time to relinquish that, to hand it over, to begin to craft and create the whole new world, because the journey has been the experience. It has been you, the world, seeing life through your eyes, your perspective, and sharing that. So I'm going to get a Divine Animal Oracle here. At the bottom we have Songlines Orca. So it's time to wake up from this sleep. Some of you, it's been a nightmare. It's been extremely difficult trying to hold on. For others of you, it's just been a lack of awareness. Or there we go. Let's get one more. Okay. So it's kind of like diving into the two selves, which is why they're saying remove this out of the way, because it's kind of like this. See how this is blocking your perspective, blocking your view here? This has been blocking your heart. So that would be your intuition and your intelligence have been blocked for some time now. But as we can see, this whole new world is birthing. This is like that white rose. Look at that. Can you see? This is that world opening up too. So move this out of the way and let this come on in, y'all. And although it could seem scary, it could seem trepidatious, like you're surrounded by sharks, that's really kind of this, there's no better way to say it, but it's called hag's hair when it's dealing with Lilith. And I adore Lilith, y'all. I adore darkness and the growth and the change that we get from that. But not being trapped when it's old, it becomes hag's hair. It's like cobwebs. How are cobwebs sticky and nothing's living in it? Where did it come from and why is it there? So it's things that have been left through the dust, the ashes of time, the relics of time. Clear it out and clear the way for this bright new shiny world we have coming in here. Get out of your own way, okay? Take off this covering, because there ain't no sun you need to be blocking yourself from your own radiance. Step into this curiosity and wonder, where before the fox is like shrewd and a trickster and playing people against themselves. Here it is content curiosity. And that curiosity is opening this whole new world, being able to see yourself in a new light, in a new facet. And that's where you are here. You're swimming open-hearted with the sharks, but you're not being the prey this time. Can you see that? Looking directly at yourself, saying, take another look. Take a good gander is actually what you're saying. And it has to do with our purpose. These sharks, even though it's a tiger shark, I can see now, it isn't hungry. This one has come to bump you, all right? Interesting. It's come to bump you in the right direction. You were getting trapped down here in the watery depths, in that archaicness, in those relics is what they were talking about, like the hag's hair. And these sharks have come along kind of like Bruce in Nemo. Fish are food, not friends. They're coming to bump you along into your path and push you in the right direction. Interesting. So let's see. Let's get our cosmic tarot here, and we're going to take a look at what direction is that. What direction is shark bumping us in towards? Too many. With our purpose. Hang on, y'all. Deep dive. There we are. Okay. I appreciate your patience with the setup. It's lots of fun. So I had a huge inversion. Hang on. I'll figure this out in a moment. Let's see what we've got going for now. Prince of Wands and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so there's a little bit of reluctance of being seen in your full self, for who you fully are, being exposed, your mind, which makes sense because your mind has been something that has betrayed you for some time. It's been that cloud of hag's hair. It's been the cobwebs, the old, the hanging on and lingering. Okay, the shark has said you've clearly been lingering where you no longer need to be, down in those depths. It's time to come out, to come up upon the surface, because see what would be down in the depths under here, the points of those swords. Rise up above it and be with the hilt, the one who is in control and who has the power, the passion, and the purpose. And the purpose, remember, is to open your heart, to be truly receptive to the fullness of your mind. And the full moon is when we receive in all that it is that we have been waiting for. It is the culmination of time. There's a little bit to be known there yet because it's obscured by some clouds. But this Prince of Wands is looking directly at you. That's what we've got going on here. And you're taking a nod towards him, okay? So you're acknowledging the need to be open. You're acknowledging the need to receive this energy coming on in. And let me take a closer peek at him. Okay, so I see new life springing forth in this barrenness, because the place where you were, you're moving away from, and as you're moving away from, it's kind of like walking out of a desert into regular land. The landscape begins to transition and change, and that's how you know. It's not so much that you're changing, but you're changing your environment, and that's powerful, because we need to be in the environment that we flourish and grow in. And what you're letting us know here is that has been the environment of your mind, the condition of your heart. Where you've been in your mind has really stripped your heart bare and has made it unsafe in order to fully receive. Interesting. Interesting. I hope that is resonating with you guys. But So you're being guarded, protected, and watched out for here. This is part of fate and destiny, as well as choice and decision. It's letting me know where life got off track. It is getting back on track. That's part of what this hope was, this rose was believing that that better day, that better way would come. But the changing of the mind had to occur, to be receptive in your heart, to trust again, to love again. And there's the restorative golden strand going on through here, the resurrection power that brings new life after death, after the ending of dreams, after the old days and the old ways, right? But you need to leave the cobwebs. That environment was no longer good for you. And begin to make your trek towards the mountain of promise. Okay, you've waited long enough. Begin to move your feet, change direction. Here you were in the depths, and now you're moving, look, towards the heights. Can you see that there? Okay, and that's where you begin to shine, radiate, and glow. Why you took the lowest seat, I don't know. But it's time for you to be exalted, to be lifted up, and to be... So there are two words that sound the same, raised and raised. R-A-Z-E-D, I believe, is to clear cut, to take off everything that can be seen and that is exposed. So that's not the raising that's happening here, which is why it wants us to step into the self, to do this cross bracing of receptivity and being open and willing, right, to be balanced, so that it could bear the burden of life, the weight of this foundation, this structure, this beauty, all of this that's coming in of the hopes and dreams, this type of ancients. See that pyramid back there? We have things stored up for this lifetime to come in, to assist, to facilitate, and to define our purpose, our grace, our balance, and receptivity with that. This is the beautiful way, the temple path that I hear Cancer has been asking about, if you're Cancerian, by the way. So let me see what else we have going on here up under there. These cards that were still inverted, right? The Two of Wands. This is choosing to be in a position to support yourself. And the support starts with your confidence and your courage, being able to step in that right direction. Remember, like we have with the Prince of Wands, to change your environment. And as we know from the weaving of the cards here, is to change your mindset, to change the environment of your mind, to leave the darkness and step into the light. Okay, so that could be two things. For one, look, of course, where your sun sign is, and embrace that, for one, because our sun sign is typically how our family views us, and so some of us step away from that for quite a time because we get tired of being pinned and hemmed into certain roles, right? If we return of our own choosing, because that is where we innately flourish. That's where all things grow. We gain, the plants gain their nourishment during the sun, during the photosynthesis, right? And then is released and regenerated and fed into the self at night when you sleep. So here it's taking that courage, that choice to support yourself, to return to that sun, and also for some of you, it is your part of fortune as well. You can Google free birth chart, part of fortune, and find out where that is, because that has a lot to do with, in my mind, this return to your sun, of why you should be in that part of your personality, how that facet of it really funds you, F-U-N-D-S, funds you, financially supporting you, how it also fuels like camaraderie in your direction, to where you have the environmental support of like-hearted individuals, people who come from the same place and have the same jovialness or lightheartedness, or maybe they're very creative and passionate. Whatever it is, it creates that nice amnios, that environment around you that helps you flourish and thrive as well, so that there aren't the leeches, the suckers, the charades, those type of things going on. Yeah, so I'm going to take one little peep into the Mary L. Tarot to see about the bit of darkness, because it did bring up that our sun is when we gain the photosynthesis, but at night is when it's converted into our growth. So tell us a little bit about that growth. Okay, we got the one on top as well. I'm telling you, if one card is going to come out, it is this guy. This card loves to come out of this deck. But it talks about the power being in your hand, about the human choice of will, okay? We have so much that we have the power over. Instead of looking at what you can't control, look at what you do control, which is your permission. That's what they're saying here. And that ability to be seen for who and what you are, to not hide or disguise it anymore, to no longer hide from yourself, you know, to step up into your world. That's like this mountain that we were talking about here, to leave the darkness where you haven't been growing for some time. You've been growing, but you've been growing weary, okay? These two are sisters right here coming in together. So we have 10, the Wheel of Fortune, and 21, the World. Take a look at this. This abundance, this fruitfulness, this ability to feed and nourish yourself as well as the world that you're bringing in. So you have the sustainability is really the key word going on here. And you have the magic and the mystery. Look, this is both the light and the dark. They're almost like comrade cards going on here, like kind of like the cycle of day and night, right? And the wheel's going to keep on turning here. But it's about the sustainability of being able to bring in what it is you desire and to nurture and to grow it. So I would tell you, don't fear there. Don't fear about this new inkling, this new whisper in your heart, these tough things, these scary things. They're actually bumping you in the right direction. So I'd tell you, dear friend, loved one, do not fear. Do not fear. That's what the shark is here to say. You can carry this through. There's very much a Six of Swords in this Wheel of Fortune card going on. So you're moving on to better waters, more stable waters, and it's making me think of the card in my Cosmic Tarot where the hilts, the handles are knocked off of the sword, so it's no longer having to be on the defense, to be that overly protective nature because your life has been on the line, your dreams have been on the line. They're telling me now, okay, they're telling me now your dreams are secure. They're secure. They're with you. They're in you. They're part of you. Okay? So I hope this helps walk you through this day, and that it also inspires you to be brave, to be courageous, and to be your awesome divine self. The part of you that really shines and radiates, let that come out, let it come forward, and let us celebrate who you are together. Because that's the neat thing about celebration. Yes, we can do the happy dance all alone, but when there is a witness, when there is another person, is when it becomes real. Kind of like the Velveteen Rabbit, right? When others can see you, it becomes real. That's also part of like metaphysics, quantum physics, that type of thing, is when something is witnessed, is when it becomes active and alive. So it will move you from your potential into your actual. Fantastic. Well, this is Joy. Sam, hey, I love you. I believe in you. And thank you for being you. Bye for now.